What's up guys, David here, and dark mode is pretty much everywhere. It was the highlight feature in iOS 13, Google brought it to Android with Android 10, and countless hours of engineering have been spent on bringing dark mode to third-party apps. And outside of the obvious benefit of being easier on the eyes in like a dark environment, dark mode is supposed to bring with it better battery life, at least on phones with OLED displays like the ones I have here, due to the way these screens work where black pixels are actually turned off instead of being backlit like on LCD displays. So I decided to put our robots to work and figure out like just how much of a difference in battery life dark mode actually brings, so we can decide once and for all if it's actually worth it. Maybe the only sound sweeter than an iPhone 11 Pro Max being unboxed is that of a giveaway. And all you have to do to enter our iPhone 11 Pro Max giveaway is follow us at PhoneBuff on Instagram. And that's literally it. This giveaway is international, and we'll be announcing the winner on November 10th with all the links and info you need down below. Alright, so we're running this specific battery test on the iPhone XS Max, but again, the benefits of dark mode should apply similarly to any phone with an OLED display. Now, we've controlled for all the variables that we could, just like we do in all of our tests, and of course, that includes equally calibrating the screen brightness to 200 nits. In fact, the only difference here is that on the left, dark mode is enabled, whereas on the right, it's the same exact iPhone, only with the normal or light mode enabled. And after 2 hours of going back and forth with our automated chatbots, we already see a pretty big difference. Dark mode helped the iPhone drop down to a healthy 88 compared to 83 on the light mode enabled iPhone. Here in Twitter, it's the same setup once again. We're just on our Twitter profile at PhoneBuff and scrolling through it, where after 2 hours of doing so on each phone, the difference gets even bigger. The iPhone with dark mode enabled dropped by only 16% down to 72, whereas the light mode iPhone had a 26-point drop all the way down to 57%. So just 4 hours into this battery test, and dark mode has the iPhone ahead by 14 percentage points. Here in YouTube, you can see that the dark mode that YouTube uses isn't completely blacked out like in the previous test. It's more of a dark gray tone, but Google themselves say that even dark colors like gray can reduce battery consumption. And after 2 hours of watching YouTube videos in portrait just so we can test dark mode, that's exactly what we see. The dark mode enabled iPhone dropped by 29% compared to the 37-point drop on the light mode enabled iPhone. So a 23 percentage point advantage just 6 hours of screen time in. And here in Maps, we're looking to add another 2 hours of screen time, but after just 1 hour and 33 minutes, the light mode enabled iPhone died. Now, unfortunately, we didn't check the battery percentage on the dark mode iPhone exactly at this point, since the test was designed to run for 2 hours and I didn't expect the light mode one to die so quickly, but our calculations have it at roughly 30% based on the fact that after another 27 minutes in Maps, it was at a healthy 26%. So needless to say, that's a huge difference, roughly 30% battery on the dark mode enabled iPhone at the point at which the light mode enabled iPhone died. But before you go off and enable dark mode, I do want to point out that we tested just apps that have dark mode enabled. Not all the apps or websites that you use on your phone will have dark mode, so don't expect like this extreme of results. And B, the screen brightness that we tested at was at 200 nits. And in our other tests, at 100 nits, which is closer to what you'd have indoors, 2 hours on Twitter saved only 5% with dark mode, whereas that same exact test at 300 nits, or closer to what you would have outdoors, dark mode saved 12%. But either way, it's been proven. Dark mode, at least if you have an OLED display, can save you some juice. That is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.